Alright, Kenichi fucking wa, schools in, suckers. Today's English phrase of the day is nothing to fuck with. Any questions? No?
Well, welcome's my fourth try now. Fucked it up too many times. Anyways, I will be teaching you how to host / use the board, and that maybe other videos of each role and stuff. I've yet to decide it. Anyways, once you come through the door, you want to click claim host. Claim host. You claim it. You're gonna hit host. You can see all the options you got. If you want to come over to the player manager board on the right, you hit players. And this would be how you give co-hosts. For let's say I don't have no one else to show you, but I could click their name and you revoke co-host, give co-host, or you could transfer host to them. You could also teleport people in out through graveyard. The graveyard's that big green door there. Teleport in the lobby or above in the sky where that green door is to spectate. Anyways, to start the game first, you want to go to roles. You wait for everyone to claim a house. Let's say it's a full game, 15 people claim houses. I will go here, just click that because you would need that later. Come over here, hit dangerous buttons. You could either manually do it and go through this. Hit town, hit back first. You want to get rid of the glitch thing that happens there. You could either manually do it and give everyone rolls themselves. You fan 500 there for 10. Or if you go to damn. Hit the wrong thing. Dangerous buttons here. You go to open role list. Open role list, hit 15 or more. It gives you a list of all the game modes you can do. Lovers, Mafia Returns, Mafia vs. Coven, but I'll be showing you a classic game because it's easy. And it's easier for new people to learn too if it's your first time hosting or is a new person in the lobby. You go to Mafia versus, this is a classic. It's just Mafia versus Town with 3 neutral roles. Neutral roles have their own win objectives. Mafia theirs, and clearly Town theirs. Anyways, once you're done that, you go back, go to roles, dangerous buttons. You could shuffle the roles. It changes them all about. Now they're random. You want to do that. That's important. And once you're done that, you hit reveal role. I can't speak. Reveal roles to house owners who are like someone claimed 15 and I didn't hit that button. They couldn't see their role. I hit that button. It reveals what they are after I've done shuffling it. You could also hide them if you wanted to. And if you get a new co-host or you crash or come back, you hit show roles to host. And same for someone new came in, like the first night, you gave them a house. You get a reveal role to them, and it'll show it to them, because otherwise you won't be able to see it. Then once you've done that, you go here, you hit back, go to day, announcements. Once that music plays, everyone's deafened but the host and co-host. So if they were all yelling at each other or whatever they're doing, or not paying attention, they would only be able to hear you. So you would say, blah blah blah, welcome Town of Salem, blah. If you knew any new players, usually what I do. If there's no new players, I'll just go straight in. If it's new, you could either sit here and explain them, depending on if it's like 1 or 2. If it's 1 or 2, I usually go tell them myself, go help them out. If it's like a bunch, sit here, explain your roles, or your own personal roles. Like, I guess personal roles would be, just, I don't know, some people just don't like some people doing certain things. Depends on the host. Once that's done, discussion. You give them timer down here, 90-second timer, hit start. They have 90 seconds to discuss whatever they want to discuss. People always do this on the first night, usually for like 30 seconds, because there's not much to talk about. I don't feel like it's necessary, but it can be. It's part of the game. Anyways, you'd wait for it to go to back to 0 seconds. That thing lets you know the timer is done. Don't get that confused with the help button at night, because it's really annoying. Anyways, once you're done that, you go to night. Hit the night button, nighttime, everyone goes into their houses. Once they're all in, I lock it so they're not in someone else's. And just so I can show you, if they hit this help button, boom, this button lights up. Me, or if I had a co-host, would come in here, help them. Let me get rid of this. What you see here is exclusive I have and some other people have. But now that's gone. this board will show you click town. This person's a veteran, I think. You click here. It explains your role. Same with Mafia, Coven, Neutral. Neutral with all these. They all have their different wins. Serial killer have to kill everyone. Plague bearer infects people, becomes pestilence. Executioner gets a person voted out, becomes jester. Things like that. You gotta keep track of as a host. Also, let me take this mirror. Mirror here, block this game here. These are just small things you can tell people about to help them enjoy their time in here, because it can be long, especially if you're a new host. You hit start this, it will lag you a little bit. Wow, okay, that lagged me a lot more than usual. You hit default legacy, blah blah blah, you play here. And that's the game. Or you come to the video player, come over to the right side, you see the list of movies, each one has a number. If I wanted to watch Detective Pikachu, I hit 1. But if you don't pause it, you can hear it outside, and it gets annoying. Here, you could also see there are other people. You wouldn't be able to see their names unless they're dead, what role they were. Usually be like someone like, I don't know, some like Detective 98 as Vigilante. It would be their name and their role. If it's red, they're dead. And during the night, there'll be an action board here. You should probably explain that to new players that they can select. Anyways, actually, let me claim this house just so I can show some later. Anyways, once you do that, you hit Mafia. Mafia come out, they do some. Okay, actually, since I claimed this house, I should do this real quick. This is the board I'm talking about. As the veteran, I'll show you what he does. Yeah, veteran. If you can read that, pause, read it. And if you want more information, it does this, and there's that. Anyway, as a veteran, I can alert. And that lets, if a player does that, it lets me know here. I'm alerting, so I can see what they're doing and correspond to what happens in the day. Let's say, the doctor for number 3 came to my house. As my veteran's ability, they would die. So, or if like the Mafia killed someone, or the Mafia came to my house, they would die too. You go to roles and say, unless, I don't think there's another doctor. There's not, so they'd be dead because no one can protect them. You would go to 3, find 3 on the board. You would hit gravestone. A gravestone pops up on this. You could also use this as a way to block houses that haven't been claimed. Gravestone would appear, and you would do the same thing for everyone else. Some roles have immunity, like I don't think the Mafia can kill the serial killer because he has defense. And as long as the veteran has their ability up, no one can even come in their house. You do that, it's just to pick random people actually. Boom, boom. Let's just say these 2 died. No, not the Godfather, that'd be a bad example. What was that one? Oh, perfect. You would do that. Actually, before that, you call the Mafia out, like I did before. They discuss, you send them back in their homes. Once you pull them out, even if it's locked, they can enter their houses. All hosts and co-hosts can enter any house at any time. Real simple. Depending on the game mode, you do that for each one. They each have their own. Aliens, vampires, medium. And then you have the different nights. We got regular night, full moon, Necronomicon for any game with Coven.
Coven has the Necronomicon.
And that's it. You go back to day once you're finished, making sure everyone does their thing. Some people will do nothing, some people will do stuff that others can't. You hit morning, automatically unlocks the door for everyone. Once they're all out, you hit announcements, and as a host, or if you want your co-host to do it, you come here and say, welcome, it was a nice night. Not too nice because the doctor decided to visit a paranoid man, the veteran from his time in Vietnam, killed number 3 here. Don't give up to who the veteran was like I did. And the Mafia also decided, might as well take a shot at someone, and they decided number 6 here would be their faithful target. You come here, you go back to roles. Unless they were Medusa, which is a Coven role, you would hit reveal. It would show everyone their roles so they know who died exactly and if they're fucked or not. Once that's done, Go to day, discussion, timer, like I talked about before. Then we come to accusations. Once you hit accusations, a board will appear on the circle here. They can click it, a number for each house, preferably one alive. They would vote. If the majority voted,
There is no majority.
no majority because there's no one here clearly. But if it was, instead of saying that, it'd force the person that voted here. And once that's happened, you hit defense. Boom. You give them time. Once you hear that, you give them time to defend themselves. 50 seconds, let's say. They have 50 seconds to convince everyone why they should not be executed. Pretty important if you want to live. Unless you're the jester. The timer goes off, dings. You hit the vote button. Like accusations, there would be another board here. Same board, I think. You can click it. No, instead of accusations, accusations has numbers. Voting has innocent, guilty, or abstain. It's important for you to know the difference of the host and player. There could be, let's say, actually to explain abstain. Say most of the town, it's the same with accusations, it has to be a majority for it to count. Let's say everyone voted guilty, half the town voted guilty, half the town voted innocent, but 8 here, the tiebreaker, let's just say, voted abstain. 8 and 7 voted abstain. And it was less innocent than, it was more guilty than there were innocent votes. The 2 abstain people don't vote, their votes don't count, so the guilty would win because it was more than innocent. They'd be on the stand, whoever voted guilty. You come to death, hit death, would say they decide to kill 9, their sheriff. You hit 9, and they be here. Most hosts don't give you an option. You can give you an option if you're generous, how they want to die. Everyone loves the giant rock, Fluffy. Boom, Dwayne's little cousin. He's here. They just squishes them and they're dead. Or you can give them an electric chair. It actually, what you do is it charges up. Does no electricity, so they got to pretend they're being murdered violently by electricity. You turn that off, and if you actually be careful with the electric chair, if you take it off before they get off, they will be floating here stuck forever. So if you want to feel like an asshole, you can trap people there unless they deserve it. Then you're not an asshole. You come here, you go back to day, you go to night, hit it, repeat the cycle. But if everyone voted, so let's say they voted this person innocent during the voting round, or they couldn't come to an agreement, or they couldn't come to agreement on accusations, you would give them a second vote. So, but they can't vote that person again. Them the rules. So say they voted up 14 instead of 9. 14 comes here. They all say, yeah, he's pretty innocent. Yeah, sure. Or they tie it with guilty and innocent. They go back. They have to pick someone else. Literally anyone else. And if they or 2 voted innocent, or it's a tie, no one dies. And you send them back to their house. Like that. And then you don't forget to lock it, because some people like to hop from house to house. We also have the graveyard over here. This is important because if you go through it, you get a mirror. You just where all the dead people can hang out. But not a lot of hosts do that. I've pretty much never seen anyone do this. It's usually used for secret meetings, or people like to change their avatars. And speaking of changing avatars, it's not recommended here. It will and can crash people. That's what everyone says. At first, I didn't believe it because it never happened to me. Then I tried hosting, and it definitely happened. Anyway, they could talk here, chill here. You send dead people here, force them in here if you want. That's all. Let me bring back the day because I hate the night. Doesn't look good. You can also toggle the barrier here. This blocks new people from coming in. It also makes it so it's hard for them, the people in the houses, to hear unless they got one of the end ones. You could also do that. I'm not sure what that one does, actually. You toggle spectate. It makes it so they can't go up to the spectator room. Anyway, if they're red, you take them all off, depending on how generous you are as a host. This is the most important part, keeping track of all the actions during the night. And if I come here, let's say, like I said before, let's say the Godfather made the mafioso kill the serial killer. You can see up top, he has no defense, so anyone can kill the mafioso. So the serial killer wanted, and they found out they can kill him. They have a basic attack. Basic attacks can only kill people with no defense. But I think what is it better in action? For who has click? Wow, I'm awful at finding the things I am talking about. It should be easy. Vigilant, yeah, it's right here. Okay, actually, yeah, okay. Yeah, the Mafia, basic attack, I'm not doing the right thing. Serial killer has basic defense and basic attack. That means they can only kill people with no defense, and they can only survive basic attacks. More powerful attack characters include the Juggernaut, which is powerful, which is the highest you can get. And I think the only person that can survive that is the Survivor. Was their vest, of course. And, like, doctors. But if they get attacked twice, it's pretty much over for them. And let me show you how. And once the game's over, you can hit dangerous buttons. You can hit reset all rolls, restart if you want, or you take these gravestones off. I'll do this. Brand new slate. And this would be how you'd be able to teleport people to the graveyard. You click on their name. I can only click on me, since I'm the only one here. You click their name, give them co-host, get a bunch of options. Teleport to graveyard. You would also have to go over your own roles, like I said before. Mainly, changing avatars is pretty important because it lag spikes everyone and crashes some people. But you also say during the night, if they were to lag out, crash, there would be a button here. Because I claim the house, this button brings them back to the house so they don't see anything they're not supposed to, because if they see the mafia or any evil person doing something, they'll have to die. You are the god of this world temporarily. So, and you make the rules technically. Some characters, such as Cthulhu, which is in community roles, you don't really have to use these ones. They're mostly not. It's only really what. Personally, I love the Suicide Bomber, but Cthulhu is probably the main one used. There can only be one of these. Like some characters, there can only be one. Or you can make a custom role. I don't recommend that because pretty much everyone, I've run into one game, they had that and it was awful. But then that's pretty much all you need to know. Your main job, besides the board, is making it fun for everyone. Entertaining, try to be entertaining. Some hosts like to do voice impressions and stuff like that. Regular the story of how they die, like Cthulhu drove number 6 here mad, and now they can only say Papi Cholo, something like that. They can only say whatever Cthulhu had them make. And if they break that rule, they die. Anyways, that's all.